Hi everyone. Today I'm going to read Dance at Grandpa's, and I am reading actually on a farm that belonged to my great-great-grandpa and my grandpa, and it's been in my family for over 100 years. It's a really special place. I always come here in the spring, and there's my dog. I always come here in the spring and pick the daffodils, and I just thought it would be a good place to read a book, and Lexi does too. And so today I'm going to read Dance at Grandpa's by Laura Ingalls Wilder, and it's just a little portion from the book series. Here you go, Lex. Lay down. Here. You can lay down. Okay. Come on. Sit. Alright. Alright, she's going to join us, I guess. So here we go. Dance at Grandpa's. I know, you won't love it, don't you? Here's Bo too. Okay. Once upon a time, a little girl named Laura lived in the big woods of Wisconsin in a little house made of logs. She lived there with her pa, her ma, her big sister Mary, her big sister Carrie, and their good old bulldog, Jack. One winter morning, everyone got up early, for there was going to be a big party at Grandpa's house. While Laura and Mary ate their breakfast, Pa packed his fiddle carefully in its box and put it in the big sled waiting by the gate. The air was frosty cold, but Laura, Mary, Carrie, and Ma were tucked in snug and warm under robes in the sled. The horses pranced, the sleigh bells rang merrily, and they went off through the big woods to Grandpa's house. It did not seem long before they were sweeping into the clearing at Grandpa's house. Grandma stood at the door smiling and calling them to come in. Laura loved Grandma's big house. It was fun to run from the fireplace at one end of the big room all the way to Grandma's soft feather bed on the other side. The whole house smelled good. There were sweet and spicy smells coming from the kitchen and the smell of hickory logs burning with bright, clear flames in the fireplace. Before long, it was time to get ready for the party. Laura watched while Ma and the aunts made themselves pretty. They combed their long hair and put on their best dresses. Laura thought Ma was the most beautiful of all in her green ruffled dress. Soon people began to come to the party. They came on foot through the woods with their lanterns, and they came in sleds and wagons. Sleigh bells were jingling all the time. The big room was filled with tall boots and swishing skirts, and there were ever so many babies lying in rows on Grandma's feather bed. Laura thought baby Carrie was the prettiest. Then Pa took out his fiddle and began to play. All the skirts began to swirl and all the boots began to stamp. "Swing your partners," Pa called. Laura watched Ma's skirt swaying and her dark head bowing and thought she was the loveliest dancer in the world. Soon it was time for dinner. The long table was loaded with pumpkin pies, dried berry pies, and cookies. There was cold boiled pork and salt rising bread. How sour the pickles were! They all ate until they could eat no more. The fiddling and dancing went on until it was time for Laura and the other children to go to bed. When Laura woke up, it was morning. There were pancakes and maple syrup for breakfast, and then Pa brought the horses and sled to the door. Pa tucked Laura and Mary and Carrie and Ma into the sled. Grandma and Grandpa stood calling, "Goodbye, goodbye," as they rode away into the big woods, going home. What a wonderful party it had been. I hope you enjoyed Dance at Grandpa's, and I hope that you can look into the Little House on the Prairie books because they are just fantastic.